In Boulder City, Clark County, Nevada, USA, an unidentified flying object is flying at a low altitude on August 28. In Snoqualmie Pass, a video of a low-lying UFO was captured near the surface of the water on August 26. On May 23, an unidentified flying object in the shape of a dark ball was seen moving at a constant speed and trajectory in Garrison, New York, United States. On September 5, a light shining from the night sky, St. Petersburg, Florida, United States. Unidentified flying object in the form of a flying saucer in Petrified Forest National Park, Arizona on May 25. In Lubbock, Texas, UFO orb defying physics, as described by the witness. In Carlsbad, California, photos were taken of a group of unidentified flying objects, flying at a low altitude near the roof of a house, on August 23. In Cocoa, Florida, pictures were taken of a group of unidentified flying objects on June 30, which emit sound waves, according to the witness. In Boulder City, Clark County, Nevada, USA, an unidentified flying object is flying at a low altitude on August 28. A picture was taken of an unidentified flying object flying at a low altitude in the plasma state, and contains many colors. The witness stated the following: "My girlfriend and I were traveling to Las Vegas when she captured some video on something I can't explain. We didn't notice it when she started recording. Since I was driving, I really didn't see it until she played the video for me. We were about 10 miles away from the Hoover Dam." In Snoqualmie Pass, a video of a low-lying UFO was captured near the surface of the water on August 26. Near a mountain lake, a witness photographed an unidentified metallic flying object, similar to what we had heard about, and seen, in the physical descriptions of classical flying saucers. The witness said, "I hiked up to Granite Mountain Fire Lookout near Snoqualmie Pass, and before leaving the area, I decided to walk to a viewpoint overlooking two lakes north of the fire lookout. One of the two lakes caught my attention, the one nearest to me. The one in question is named Crystal Lake. I wouldn't know how far this lake was from where I stood, but it was far but close enough that I could see something darting back and forth across the surface of the lake. My phone has decent zoom and I was able to capture 3 videos of this object. Because of the distance and quality of the zoomed-in video, it's hard to say if it was some kind of UFO, or an entity of some type, whatever the case. This object moved nothing like an animal or man-made craft. When I first spotted this object, it was moving erratically above the surface of the lake, and it sure seemed like it spotted me. Realizing it was being watched, it slowed down, and started to move in a straight line towards me, but still seemingly hovering above the water. That is when I started to record the second video, the first video I took unknowingly before I spotted it over the lake. I only recorded for 13 seconds when I decided to switch to camera mode, because in that mode I would be able to zoom in a little bit more. I took a series of photos where this object without a doubt moved with intention. It made its way towards a dark spot in the lake, and as it got closer to this spot, a white tail-like protrusion appears out of nowhere. It seems like this object lands on this black spot, and that's when I switch back to video mode, and record 42 seconds of it making its way towards the shoreline very slowly. As I watch and re-watch these videos, I am able to zoom in even more to the object, and there are some distinct shapes this object forms. From wing-like features to a circle, dome-like structure. At one point it looks like a stingray gliding, hovering above the surface of the lake. On May 23, an unidentified flying object in the shape of a dark ball was seen moving at a constant speed and trajectory in Garrison, New York, United States. In the daytime sky, an unidentified dark flying object soaring high in the sky, and without any wings or blades to help it fly. The description of the witnesses of the sighting was as follows: "The spherical object I observed was traveling from northwest in a seemingly straight trajectory. I observed its approach for several seconds, perhaps half a minute, before reaching for my camera phone to shoot video of it as it passed in front of me. At first sight, from a distance, I thought it might be a helicopter. I see them around here often, as I'm near West Point. I soon realized it was no helicopter, though its size seemed comparable to one. It was dark in color, but also reflected the sunlight, revealing its spherical shape. It seemed to be flying near or just below the altitude of the clouds. The object was featureless, but somehow didn't look like it had a smooth surface. It seemed textured in some way. There was no visible evidence of a means of propulsion, but its movement was constant in speed and direction. It was clearly not floating like a balloon. On September 5th, a light shining from the night sky, St. Petersburg, Florida, United States. This footage was caught on porch surveillance camera and isn't the best quality. There are several videos that the security camera captured, but it won't allow me to upload the larger files with the clear footage. I'd be happy to reattempt submitting it in the future if this is looked into. The lights came from the open sky. They can be seen making erratic movements. It's ever more noticeable in the other security camera footage, but hoping this video will give insight to it. There were no helicopters, neighbors, or spotlights that could cause this nearby, and the lights appeared from the center of the sky. I'm also not sure if this was a person, or something else, but in the corner you can see the shadow of someone or something walking. Unidentified flying object in the form of a flying saucer in Petrified Forest National Park, Arizona on May 25th. An unidentified flying object was discovered by chance in the photos taken by a witness, which is very similar to the photos we saw of classic UFOs. Witness description was: looked back on photos taken during a trip and there appears to be a UFO in the background. A few years ago I went on a road trip to California with my mom. On the way, we stopped by Petrified Forest National Park for half a day to do some hiking. It was before tourist season started, and we didn't see anyone else on the trail while we were out. We took a few pictures, finished our hike, and continued on our road trip. A few days ago, my mom was going through photos of our trip and saw a UFO in the back of one of the photos she took of me. Talk about weird. Attached are two photos that were taken within the same minute according to the photo info on my mom's phone. UFO is in one picture and gone the next. It's in the upper right corner of the first picture. In Lubbock, Texas, UFO orb defying physics. As described by the witness, the UFO was shooting up, down, side to side and diagonally. Impossible for planes to do. At one point, it split into two different lights and then flew back together. Unfortunately, I did not get that part on video. I looked it up and apparently there were 32 other reports last night. In Carlsbad, California, photos were taken of a group of unidentified flying objects, flying at a low altitude near the roof of a house, on August 23rd. My husband filmed it on his phone. It's grainy, but you can see how fast it was moving. The one on the right was stationary while the one on left move up and down, side to side, fade in and out. There was a third one. He had a church blocking it but went up 3 times above church next door. That one was extremely bright. It quick at rooftop. They are clearer on my husband's phone. Finally, in Cocoa, Florida, pictures were taken of a group of unidentified flying objects on June 30th, which emit sound waves, according to the witness. The witness said, there are sound waves in the photos, a tower that evaporated and then doubled, many flying objects. There are no towers or wires in the area. A source or beam was coming down at the same time. The pictures are only 2 seconds apart, if that.